With that down, let's talk about this for a second. Earlier in the year, we did an episode of the show and we were talking about MVPs and stuff like that. And we brought up, a couple of big names. Jared Goff, we brought up a few times. Obviously, Lamar Jackson. Guys who were having big years. And Ryan pointed out, he said, hey guys, somebody nobody's mentioning yet right now is Josh Allen. He's having an MVP kind of year. And maybe it's because I grew up as a Buffalo Bills fan that doesn't believe anything good can actually ever happen. I'm like, nah.
You're being precautionary.
Yeah. But I think after the last 2 weeks, I think the MVP, I'm just speaking for myself here. I think the MVP race is over. I mean, you had former New York Giant, now Philadelphia Eagle running back. What's that?
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley, who was like kind of on pace to maybe possibly break the all-time rushing record. And even though it was with an extra game, but still this week he ran for 61 yards, solid game. But in the last 2 weeks, Josh Allen 2 weeks ago, or last week, I should say, against the LA Rams, a game they lost, he threw for 342 yards, no interceptions, and I believe 6 touchdowns, threw for 3, ran for 3. Mm-hmm. I think it's the first time in NFL history the guy threw for 300 yards, rushed for 3 touchdowns, and threw for 3 touchdowns. I might be wrong about that.
I'll look it up right now and see what it was.
I think one of the guys on the commentary said that. I might be wrong about that, but that was last week.
Threw 342, threw for 3, and ran 82 yards for 3 touchdowns.
He just, it was that game that a lot of I remember watching Colin Cowherd after that game against the Rams last week saying, it's over. This is Josh Allen's MVP. Then this week he follows it up, going again, the 11-1 at the time, Detroit Lions, puts up 362 and throws for 2 and rushes for 2 with, again, no interceptions. So he himself has had 10 touchdowns with no interceptions the last 2 games and thrown for about 700 yards in the last 2 games when it was starting to look maybe a little bit of a 2-horse race for the MVP.
Yeah.
So I will say right here, guys, I think barring, Saquon rushing for 225 yards next week and Josh throwing 5 picks.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll do it.
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I think the MVP race is over. I think it's clearly Josh Allen. Ryan, what do you think about that? Or do you think this is still a competition?
No, I think it's done. Unless Lamar has, because right now the betting odds is Allen's the favorite minus 1,000, then Lamar plus 700, then Saquon, then Goff. Lamar has great stats,
He's trying.
But they're
Lamar's
not
trying.
He's always trying hard.
Lamar actually has more touchdown throws than Josh Allen, but their team has a worse record, so I don't think that's going to happen. Unless something crazy happens, I don't see how Allen loses it. They have a chance to be the number 1 seed if Mahomes can't play for the next couple of games or something for Kansas City. So I think he's a lock at this point unless something nuts happens.
Yeah, we tried that last a couple weeks ago. We were like, well, Saquon, how come they always give it to quarterbacks? And then they're like, oh,
this is
because we went
to that Ram, like John said, we went to that Rams game. I don't want to talk crazy, but it was like Michael Vick back in the day. Where you're like, he can run and he can throw. They can't stop both. So you pick your poison. Josh Allen is, I don't want to say, he probably is better than Michael Vick.
But here's the thing.
But it's crazy.
He's clearly better than Michael Vick.
Yeah, he's winning these games on offense, doing both running and passing and not turning it over, which used to be the problem.
Again, I was going back to that Cowherd broadcast. He was pointing out, he goes, I just don't know that we've ever seen a quarterback that has all the tools the way that Josh Allen does. Because he can run, yes. He can throw, yes. He has remarkable accuracy. He has a cannon for an arm. Oh, and by the way,
he's a giant.
He's like 6'5", 6. I can't remember his exact height.
He's running faster than the safeties and corners, and he could take hits from the linebackers.
Yeah, and again, he bowled a couple of guys over in the last couple of weeks. He can maneuver in the pocket. He's got footwork in the pocket like Brady. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, but I'm just saying he's got massive footwork in the pocket. He can break containment at the drop of a hat. He can, when scrambling, he can go through all of his progressions in the midst of a wild scramble. And then if he needs to, he'll run over a fool or two to get into the end zone.
Yeah, there is
Very
no
un-Canadian.
because usually
un-Canadian.
usually it's like 3rd and 5, okay, or 3rd and long. It's a passing down. Not with him.
Yeah.
He can run 10 in a blink of an eye or more. That Rams game, it was 3rd and 25, and he ran it for first down.
Oh, and he's going to marry
So-
Haley
Is
Steinfeld.
anything
Well,
engaged to a Spider-Man?
Man, screw this
he's
guy.
engaged. He's
What the
engaged
hell?
to Spider-Gwen.
This
Yeah.
guy.
I mean, I just don't know. Again, I don't think they're going to give it to Lamar. I mean, I think Lamar.
Well, he's won it already anyway.
Well, yes, I think he's won it twice,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
Yeah, and then, like I said, it's just at this point the Bills are a better team, and his stats are really good, and I don't see why they would not give it to him.
And by the way, he's a quarterback of an offense that has put up in the last 2 games 90 points. 90 points with no and they're 1-1.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
They're 1-1.
Pretty good.
90 points and they're 1-1. Anyway,
well,
guys.
well, even when they played the Rams, they lost, and then they're like, everybody's like, "What a game for Allen."
yeah, it's true. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, that's
was just
the thing.
the
Everybody was
defense.
talking about Josh Allen.
I mean,
after they lost.
unless he's gonna go out there and start playing defensive snaps, he can't do much more to help win a game.
Yeah.
So
Now, again, talking about how great they are. I mean, one of the things about the Bills, though, you got to be a little bit concerned about their defense.
Yeah.
Because while they've put up 90 points, the defense has given up 86
yeah,
in 2 games.
Positive. They stay positive.
I mean, that's
that's
concerning.
that's the Mahomes Kansas City part. In the
Yeah.
playoffs, they put up numbers. I know we'll see what happens this year if he's injured, but that's been the problem is they've lost in the playoffs. I hope not. I hope Buffalo wins.
Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about that? Is this now a done deal? Barring something wild happening in the last couple of weeks, I think this is now Josh Allen's MVP to lose, unless he does something stupid. Whatever you guys think, jump on down in the comments below and let us know your thoughts.